Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kate from Millennial Mom. Now today we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 5, Episode 12, Be-Hitched. Now before I begin, just like with any other video, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing, join the family. Leave your comments, like the video, and tell a friend that Millennial Mom, well, mainly Mom, does the 90-day franchise, Married at First Sight, and different little things here and there. So, all right. Thank you for watching. Here we go. Let's begin. And hello to everyone on the replay. All right. So on tonight's episode, we're going to see Holly and Wayne, Danielle and Johan, Kim and TJ, Brandon and Mary. So let's just begin with the two couples for me who don't really have that much going on in this episode. And we'll just begin with Holly and Wayne. So it is the morning after their wedding. So they're in their honeymoon phase. And we see Holly and Wayne in honeymoon mode. They're laying in the bed talking about the activities during the night, their intimacy. And Holly gave a little bit more TMI than most of us want or need. She said that in the bedroom, because Wayne kept pressing her, like, am I the intimate person that you thought I would be? Did I bring you the heat? Is it everything that you wanted? But Holly said that in the bedroom, Wayne is not vanilla. Matter of fact, he's into other things such as bondage. And you know what? She's not opposed to it. And clearly they had a time last night. So while they're talking as well, now that Holly is married, because her mother accompanied her to South Africa to not only witness the wedding, but due to their religion, she wanted to make sure that Holly and Wayne weren't having premarital sex or anything like that. So now that they're married, Holly is upset that her mother is going back home to the States. Holly says to Wayne that she doesn't have any friends out in South Africa, and she's a little bit worried about how things will go. And Holly is, I don't know, I think Holly is a little bit wishy-washy anyways, in my opinion. That's what she's giving. She doesn't give that she's comfortable being really anywhere, to be honest. I mean, but then again, the way that Wayne described when Holly and her mom first got there, how things occurred like with a power grid going down at random times during the day at South Africa, and that Wayne's home has been burglarized a few times. I mean, I don't think that would make anyone comfortable. So, but Wayne is trying to tell Holly that, you know, it's okay. You know, I will do whatever it takes. And if that means to keep you safe by any means necessary, then that's what is going to happen. So he's telling her not to worry. I got you. So do y'all think Holly needs to worry about the power grid and Wayne's home being broken into and just the different things that's going on? And then not just that, I'm sure Holly is also concerned about Wayne's business dealings, how he mentioned like maybe 2 days before the wedding at a dinner that he didn't have the finances that he claimed he had, that it all went to crypto and he's bankrupt now. So Holly does have a lot on her plate, but Holly still just gives scattered to me. But y'all let me know if you feel the same in the comments. All right, let's move to Danielle and Johan. So Danielle and Johan are going to visit a life coach today. Now, when I saw this scene, I was thinking they're going to go visit a counselor again. I mean, they've seen a counselor at least 2 times that I can recall. It might be more, but definitely 2. Now, Danielle said that Johan and her seen the counselor before. Johan didn't really like that because she feels like there's a stigma in the DR about counselors. So this time, if she got someone that's called a life coach, it's not giving the counseling vibe, so Johan should open up a little bit more. Now, on the way to see the life coach, things are already going left. Is it left? They're going left, right circle. I mean, every time we've seen Danielle and Johan, they can't seem to get on the same page. And I believe that's because Johan is tired of being in the DR. He feels that and I believe he said this before too on many episodes, that marrying Danielle, he feels like, since she's from America, that she was going to take him to the States with her. But Danielle told Yohan that, listen, I want to break from my life in New York. Okay. I want to break for these kids because she's a high school, I believe, science teacher, but high school something teacher, right? And I want to live in the DR to be peaceful for at least a year. And then I will consider bringing you to the States. Now, when they saw the counselor before in the last couple episodes, this conversation came up again that Yohan feels like, I married Danielle. She wants to live here in the Dominican, but I'm trying to make it back to the States to get my career going and then send money back to help my family. So he's trying to figure out what the disconnect is with Danielle. But Danielle keeps saying, like, I'm not going to fund your lifestyle. I think Danielle feels like Yohan wants to live off her, but I can see why Yohan would feel like he was being sold the American dream, because Danielle clearly sold that to him with, promises come to America and we could do all these other things. But then they get married and Danielle flips the script. Now, back to them being in the car. I mean, again, the conversations with Yohan, comes up talking about, we rent. We don't have really a car. We're supposed to have all these things together as a married couple. He feels like he's paying for everything. Danielle said, if you're paying for everything, who bought the shirt that you have on? Now, okay, listen, for me, that comes across a little tit for tat. She knows exactly what Yohan is saying. He's actually been saying it for a while. So I'm paying for everything. He's talking about the bills and stuff like that too. Well, Danielle said, you, meaning Yohan, gave me $20,000 thinking that, or they invested together somehow. I guess maybe he got some extra cash when he sold the meat market business that he had. But anyways, Danielle said, you gave me the cash for me to invest to buy a home in the neighborhood that he lives in, but Danielle said that it wasn't just for that. Danielle said she gave it to him. Well, he gave the money to her, to invest because it's an ego thing, like he wanted to show off. And I'm like, an ego thing or show off? I mean, Yohan was living with his family from the beginning, right? A family of at least 12, mother, father, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, siblings. So what's to show off with what? If he and y'all got the money, he already married an American lady. What's left to show off with? But then Yohan gets into it even more after Danielle was like, I'm not going to do that for your ego, right? Then Yohan said that my money also helps pay all the bills. And Danielle said, no, this money, she said, when Yohan gives her money from whatever job or whatever to pay bills, then she wires the money back to the States to pay their rent and stuff like that. And the actual cash she gives her, she does stuff like incidentals for around the house or any food she buys and stuff like that. So Danielle told Yohan she wasn't trying to have a kept man. And Yohan dug his feet in or his toes in deeper and was like, took it to her. He's like, well, you know what? I can't count on you and you can't even give me a child. So that is Danielle's crutch right there, like not being able to have a baby for Yohan. And all this on the drive to the life coach yet again. All right, so let's move to Kim and TJ. So today is wedding day number 1. Now, before that, TJ said there will be back-to-back festivities as part of his culture. Kim is getting her Mehdi or Hindi tattoo, which is the tattoo you get before you get married. It's part of the wedding culture and tradition. It's part of the 3-day events leading up to the marriage. And Kim decided to give TMI. Now, this is another person. We already had TMI earlier with Holly's. Now, Kim's turn to give TMI. She's talking about she woke up pretty much with the bubble guts. Okay. Her stomach was hurting. It was acting up and she had an accident. She goes, who would like an accident before they get married? Nobody. I mean, honestly, why are you telling us for America that you had a bubble gut? You was nervous for the day. Okay, it happens. So During the festivities, well, actually the tattooing, things like that, the tattoo looked very nice, and Kim looked nice in all her outfits. I especially like the orange and the red outfit in the evening time. Well, Yash ends up talking to Kimberly after she gets the tattoo done. They hash it out. Yash apologized for arguing and for any ruckus that he's called, anything that would be considered disrespectful and argumentative. And Kimberly actually accepted the apology. She said, I know I could be a handful at a time sometimes, but, that's who I am. But, they moved past it. So, after the tattoo and the henna is later in the evening, there is a dance troupe there to dance for Kim and TJ to show their appreciation as part of celebration. I think it's family members and just people who have been invited to the wedding. I believe TJ said it was like 400 plus people. But even Yash is up there doing the dance and everything. Yash looked very nice in his outfit. So then after the dance troupe was over, then TJ, I'm about to say Yash again, asked Kimberly, hey, let's go up there and dance. Because I keep getting them mixed up, TJ and Yash, excuse me. TJ, I apologize, everybody. TJ said that he can dance. It's just 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, he's cool with that. Kimberly said she couldn't really dance, but she got up there anyways. She started doing whatever dance moves. She started following TJ. She started making funny faces. TJ said Kimberly is really clumsy, but that's okay. He's here for it. He likes what she's doing up there. So I give her credit for getting up there to put all her differences to the side and try to have fun for the sake of her wedding day ceremonies and all the things like that. So, okay. Well, at the end of the night, TJ told Kim, listen, get ready for tomorrow's or actual wedding and plan on being up all night. So we'll have to see how that goes when we see them again. Okay. Now, finally, we have Brandon and Mary. Now, when we see Mary, she's talking with her grandmother. Mary's grandma is upset and disappointed that Mary got pregnant because the rules was there's no hugging, no kissing, and definitely no intimacy unless you get permission from us. And there was no permission, but I guess her and Brandon couldn't help themselves. Now, Mary said that her grandmother, although upset, is still supportive of her and Brandon. But there's an issue that's going on in the house. Mary's grandma and Mary's grandfather have noticed that there's a lot of yelling, there's a lot of chaos, a lot of things that's going on that's upsetting the household that's coming from Brandon. And they want Brandon to get it back in control because, listen, even the neighbors are talking and gossiping about what's going on over here. And they're not trying to hear that. So Mary's grandma suggests that Mary and Brandon go talk with Mary's grandfather to not just tell him that she's pregnant, even though that he knows, but he doesn't know formally, and that, to talk to him about how things are going in the house. So then we see producers. Well, let me jump back a little bit. Before that, after Mary talks to her grandmother, you see Brandon, there's clips of him being like belligerent in the house. He's got the TV volume at 100. Mary says he's yelling and carrying on. Ever since she got pregnant, he's slamming doors. He's not listening. He's just having like a hard time causing a ruckus in the house. So now when we see Brandon, producers are talking to him. Well, apparently Brandon has left the house. He's out at the beach and he's slept there. He's spending time out there because he hasn't felt comfortable in the house and he's trying to get his mind together. So when producers are saying, are you okay? Like, what's going on? He acknowledges there's a difference that's going on in the house. And then he says, when he's home in the States, if there's ever something that comes along like this, like he gets into it with a friend, a family member, or just anything in general, he would normally go like sleep on a park bench or somewhere to clear his mind. So Mary does find Brandon either later on that day or the next day. She comes to talk to him, ask him if he's okay. He says that he is. And Mary said, why don't you come back with me to talk to Grandpa so that we can get everybody on the same page and let them know what's going on. So Brandon agrees. And then when Mary and Brandon sit down and talk to Grandpa is upset. Okay. And I don't blame him. And Mary is upset too, but I think she's a little bit embarrassed that she got pregnant and, under the rules of the house. But that's what happens when you don't listen to grandma and grandpa, right? Brandon says that he understands how the grandfather and grandmother feel. And he says that sometimes he gets anxiety. So sometimes he can control the anxiety and things that come along with it. Maybe he's got a temper and everything else. And sometimes he can't. So grandpa tells Mary and Brandon that, again, they're straight up disgracing themselves. Not only did Mary get pregnant unwed, but again, the gossiping with the neighbors, they're talking about them. So, it's just like a small community. And it's like, look what's going on over there at Mary's house. We heard she was pregnant. There's maybe an American there and who knows what's going on. So Brandon turns to Mary and says, well, you know what? I will do better. And starting from here. Sorry, you guys, my nose is itching of allergies. And Mary says, okay, well, then do better. And Brandon says, I'm trying. And then Mary says to Brandon, if you're trying, I don't see it because you're constantly playing video games. You're not helping him around the house. I'm pregnant. And then Brandon says, so what do you want me to do? How do I fix this? Do you want me to go back to America? Mary says, well, if that's what you want to do. And Brandon says, no, you said that before. And Mary said, if that's what you want to do. So, yeah, Brandon says, he doesn't know what to do. And Mary thinks that Brandon might be a better person if he does go back to the States, so he can get his attitude together and he could be a better father for the baby, because she don't want no stress coming to the baby. Even grandma said she don't want no stress from Brandon, because clearly Brandon is causing a bunch of chaos. Grandpa said it, grandma said it, Mary said it. So people just aren't making stuff about this. And to think about it, I can see Brandon doing some chaos just based off the relationship that he has or had or whatever with his mom, for blaming his mother for her decision that she made 20 years ago or 10 years ago that may have affected Brandon having some PTSD today. So maybe Brandon does need some counseling going forward, and hopefully he can get it figured out sooner or later, because this doesn't seem like it's a good look. So, all right, everyone, that was the end of the episode. Next week, we're going to see Kim for wedding day 2, and she's telling her mom, or excuse me, her stepdad and her dad and her stepmom, excuse me, that she feels like the wedding festivities, that she's being left out of everything. And then we have Armando telling Hannah about possibly bringing another sibling in the family. And then we have Danielle and Johan making it to that life coach. And then we have Shekina. Her sister arrives in Istanbul to meet Sarper. And you know what? Shekina's sister isn't here for Sarper at all. She feels that Sarper is, not showing Shekina on his social media because he has other women, and just also knowing the fact that he's bedded all those women, those 2,500 women. Yeah, that's not sitting right with her either. So, all right, everyone. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share. And until next time, everyone, live simply, be grateful.